As a business owner, have you ever been in a situation where you have team members, staff members on your team, and you're trying to figure out what makes them tick, what makes them motivated, what keeps them driving, what keeps the high performers flying high? Have you ever sat down and questioned why certain people are wired the way they are and how to manage them from where they're at? This episode is going to talk exactly about that. Tune in. Welcome back to our Speak Life podcast. I'm your host. My name is Mark Mead. I'm excited about today's episode because I've done some research and I've been working with people for a long period of time, going back 15, 20 years inside of my organizations, independent contractors, thousands of them, staff, hundreds of them through the years, and just trying to figure out every day how to get better at being a leader, get better at trying to grow people, develop people, help people perform better, help people through tough times. And I came across a study that was done, and I want to go over this with you. And I want to go over this in depth with you. It talks about high will and high skill. So if this is your grid, high will, high skill. And so I want to talk about it because inside of this grid, you have 4 boxes. And in these boxes are the 4 different types at high and low. So let's talk about it. Far left is high will, low skill. Far right is high skill, high will. These are individuals inside your organization. Lower left is low skill, low will. And then far right is low will, down at the bottom here, but skill all the way to the right, high skill. And so when I think about this, it's very intriguing, very fascinating, because I've dealt with all of these personalities or all these different types of individuals throughout my career. And you probably have too, and if you haven't, you will, because we're all here trying to take, small and medium-sized businesses, make them large. We're trying to think as leaders, not just managers, as entrepreneurs. We're trying to be trendsetters, and we're trying to help people and help people develop. So when I think about this matrix, these 4 quadrants, I'm thinking about where people fall and why. And so we're going to start with high skill, high will. You love these people, right? They're typically independent thinkers. They're typically high-driven, highly motivated. They come to work fired up. They don't need to be motivated. They're the kind of people that they set the pace for their day. They know what they have to do. They keep track of where they are, where they're going, and why. And typically, you can set it and forget it with these people. You can, and I don't mean never talk to them, but you need to let them work and get out the way. So what does get out the way look like? It doesn't mean we're not going to meet with them. It doesn't mean we're not going to have, weekly check-ins and I like to do a weekly check-in with people direct to me. Doesn't mean any of that. All it really means is that they're going to come in with their ideas. They're going to come in with things that they feel. They're going to come in with stuff that they've been working on, statistics, data, the things that they've been doing, and they have a pretty good handle on it. They have high skill, so we're not confused. They know how to do the job. They know how to do their job. They know how to continue to break the mold of their job, and they have high will. They are excited to do the job. Let's bring it in a little more narrow. We know that skill is set up as what you know how to do the job. You have the skill set. You have the wherewithal. You know how to do the job. You're bringing that skill to that job, and you know how to do it. So it doesn't matter what the job is. It could be someone who is set up as an executive assistant. They know exactly how to handle the executive. They ask questions when they don't know. They're punctual. They're on time. They get things done. They have great follow-up skills. They're highly organized. These are all skills, right? Now, when they have high will, that means they're super excited. In that position, They're excited to serve. They're excited to be a part of the team. They're excited to assist the executive. They understand that if they do a great job assisting the executive, they're impacting a lot of people because it takes pressure off the executive. That's high will. They're no job too big, no job too small. Jumping in wherever, willing to go above and beyond. High will. And so these people are incredible. In order for me to continue to lead a high will, high skill person, I need to continue to grow. Because high will, high skill people have options, and they should. Well, let's make it clear. Everyone has options. You're going to find out with this quadrant, these matrices, this matrix of quadrant, everyone has options. But they have options to do and go where they want. And so I want to continue to grow as a leader so I can continue to drive these people, so I can continue to help these people, so I can continue to paint vision and help the vision that I have and see them, and so they can see themselves fitting inside that vision. Very important. I don't take that lightly. I don't think it's, cutesy. I don't think that trying to show people a path and a vision for their career is a joke. I take that very seriously, that I've got to continue to get better. I've got to be cooking in the late night hours, the early morning hours, getting better while some are sleeping so that I continue to lead well. You want to take people like this and you want to invest in people like this. You want to send them on offsites. You want to send them to seminars. You want to make sure that they're growing in the craft of the job that they have. You want to make sure that they're growing in their career, that they're excited about, the next phase of their career. You absolutely want to be pouring in and helping these people grow. And this is what high will, high skill looks like day to day. These are people you can count on. These are people who aren't going to need a lot from you as far as time, energy, and effort, because they're so ready and willing to do what it is they have to do that they're going to help. These are drivers of the company. Let's go into that next quadrant. That next quadrant is high will, low skill. Love these people. High will, they're excited, they're fired up, they want to do the job. Maybe they're just coming out of college. Maybe they're learning their craft. And these are the people that say, give me an opportunity. Give me an opportunity. I want to do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Low skill. Okay. That means they need to learn. That means that we want to set benchmarks and standards and give them KPIs, give them tracking measures, encourage them, make sure that we help them understand when they're doing things well, course correct when they're doing things incorrect. But here's the deal. These are your, I like to think of the saying, emphasize strengths, secure weaknesses across the board, across the four quadrants. But when I think of this particular person, I can't stress it even the more. Emphasize strengths, secure weaknesses. What can we do to secure weaknesses of these individuals? Because I want these people working and growing in their strength zone, because that's when they bring their best effort. They bring their best effort when they're working inside their strength zone. So if I'm trying to develop high will, low skill, best believe someone with a high will is constantly going to elevate their skill if the leader is leading them correctly, because that means you're able to have conversations with them about their weaknesses, things that they think are infringing on their ability to do the work, infringing on their ability to grow. Maybe they're not seeing it correctly. Maybe they need affirmation on the thing that they're doing, but they need to be encouraged. So when I sit down with these folks and I go through, our reviews or our weekly check-in meetings, it's amazing, because these folks are burning with questions, burning with desire, burning with the ability to inquire more about more. And that to me is incredible. I was sitting with a young person the other day, and I get a lot of people that say, hey, do you mind? Would you mentor me? I get a lot of people that ask me that. And so I want to ask questions and see what it is they're looking to do, and what are What are they striving for? And at the end of the day, someone who asks that question is like, I have a high will. Your terms, your time, your clock, your calendar. Where do you want me? I'll be there. I'm gonna come with my notebook. Do you mind if I take notes while you like? These people are great. Great companies come from these people. These people become high will, high skill because their burning desire to want to grow allows them to keep elevating. And so this is why I exist. High will, low skill is why I exist. And I find great joy communicating with this group of people. It doesn't always have to be the younger generation, but you find a lot of the younger generation inside this group because of the experience they haven't had yet. But you give me hunger, you give me desire, we're going places. Next quadrant I want to speak about. Low will, high skill. Sigh. These folks have the skill, but somehow they're lacking the will. Now, these are a different kind of project. I want to know what's going on with people. I want to know how they're feeling, what's going on potentially at home, if they'll be open enough, what's going on at work, and I want to inquire because if you have the skill, we'd love you to be a part of the team. I was talking to a guy the other day who runs a massive organization. And there's a product that made this organization huge that right now is on the shelf. And the guy said to me, man, because there was a guy, and I'm not using names. I'll use fake names. So I'm going to use the name Brian. And so Brian is a master at his craft in this one specific area. I won't get too specific. And man, is the guy talented, but he's super high skill, low will. Now, if he turned his will up, love the guy, is what this leader was telling me. Turn up the will. I'm in. I'm always in. By the way, I'm always in. Because low will sometimes is affected by attitude. Sometimes it's affected by things that have gone wrong. Sometimes it's affected by potentially the fact that they're not getting any love. Sometimes they're being overlooked. Sometimes they didn't get the promotion. It's all kinds of things. But if you stay low will, that's on you. Because you have the ability to have a bad day or a bad week. You stay low will, that's on you. You need to look internally and build and come out of low will. As leaders, we need to figure out how to create low will and turn it into medium will, minimally. Because low will is a difficult place when the skill's high. Whenever you're looking at high skill, low will, don't get me wrong, these people can be a part of your organization and they will be. Not all of them, but you will have people like this in your organization. You're constantly trying to set them up to just raise that will level a little bit more. But this guy, Brian, an expert at what he does, and this recipe, this product is a signature product of this huge organization, and he doesn't have the desire right now. So what the leader said to me is, he goes, I'd love it if Brian would just come into the organization and come back. I would love it. I would embrace it. But I can't force it. And so when you're a leader and you're dealing with high skill, low will, you are in a position where you know you can't force it. And so you set up parameters to try to help tolerate it. But the reality is it doesn't always work out. And so on both sides, the leader has to sometimes make a decision that your low skill, your low will could be affecting the team around you. You think the people around you don't know you got high skill? You think the people around you don't know that you're that your low will is hurting the team? Now, I might be able to isolate this person and put them in a position where their low will isn't going to hurt the team, 100%. And if I can, I'm going to I want to utilize people's strengths, man. I want to put people in strong positions. I want to see people win. I want to develop. I want people to grow. But at the end of the day, leaders have organizations to run. So as leaders, we got to figure out how to manage these people and how to work with these people and how to grow these people, all these positions. Even high will, high skill, you got to learn. You got to manage. You can't Listen, you have to become a better leader. We all do. We all have to become better leaders every single day. And this place right here, high skill, low will, that is an interesting place to grow at as a leader. Very interesting, but it'll teach you a lot. And then, my friends, you have low will, low skill. And if you have these people in your organization, generally something has gone incredibly wrong. Because you would never hire someone who's low skill, low will. That doesn't make any kind of sense. You don't have the skills and you don't want to do it. What can you do for me? How can I help you? Better yet, how can I help you? I can't really help you. So if someone has gone there, efforts low, they, somehow became not so smart overnight, or you hired incorrectly. Fair enough. This has happened to me. I hired someone I thought would be a rock star. The brain cells weren't there. It just wasn't there. I don't know. How did they get through? It happens. Here's what I've learned from the great Gary Vaynerchuk. Hiring is guessing. Firing and promoting is knowing. Hiring is a 50% crapshoot. I'm not saying you can't have system. We interview a lot when it comes to our process and the number of interviews and the different angles we try to put people through. But people interview well. Hiring's 50-50. I love you. I know you hired 1,000%. I know you do. I love you. I got it. Thank you for your input. But hiring's 50-50. Now, firing, we know. Promoting, we know. But if you got someone low skill, low will, you're generally going to manage them out of your organization because at the end of the day, they're bringing down the team, period. Period. So when we look at this matrix, when we look at these 4 quadrants, when we look at this, the thing we should be focused the most on is how to get the most out of people, 100%. Look at your organization. Break it down into these 4 quadrants. High will, low skill. High will, high skill. Low will, low skill. Low will, high skill. You're managing. You're leading. You're trying to grow. Take the people, put them in the quadrants you believe they are, and then start listing out what you can do as a leader to help them grow in the place that is staggering their growth right now, that is making it difficult for them to go to the next level, and start managing up, start leading up, start having one-on-one, start asking questions about the things that are potentially in the way. Open-ended questions are good. Let people talk. Let people communicate. Let's talk through life. It's not always black and white. It's plenty of gray. We're dealing with people, human beings of real emotions day in and day out, and what they're challenged with, what's on the home front, what's on the job front, what's on the deadline front, what's on the horizon, what was their last review, how did they react, how did their teammates treat them, how do they treat their teammates? Bro, we're literally in this thing day in and day out. And I love it. I love the people business. I love people. I love communicating to people, talking to people, developing people, helping people grow, helping people secure their weaknesses, helping people emphasize their strengths. And we just want to help you grow as leaders and entrepreneurs and small business owners, grow this thing and not be so confused as you start working with people in all different spheres of influence and in life. And when it comes inside your business, working in these 4 quadrants to get maximum success inside of your deal. Hope this helps. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Peace, y'all. Have you seen this matrix before? Have you worked in this matrix before? Can you start listing people in your organization that are in these different quadrants so you can figure out the best way to manage them? Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. We want to continue to bring value, and comment if you've seen this or if you've done this or if you're doing this now. The feedback is very welcome as we try to continue to build the business community, the entrepreneurship community, and help people grow in their blind spots. God bless.